The Meiji Restoration. During the Sengo period, Japanese first had contact with foreigners and their devastatingly powerful gunpowder. Then they first started realizing they were less advanced than the other world powers. And if they don't catch up civilly, they will just become another of many colonies that belong to the great powers of the world. The figurative nail in the coffin was when Commodore Matthew C. Perry came to Japan in 1853 in large American warships with ornaments and technology that far outclassed those of Japan. Fortunately, his intent was only to conclude a treaty that would open up Japanese ports to trade, but if his intentions were something more munificent, there was nothing that the Japanese people could do about it. So if you were wondering how a great power like Japan could fall behind in technological advancement, so much I meant today. Japan is one of the world hubs of technological production and research. Well, before the Meiji Restoration period was a period of Japanese isolationism called Sakoku, during which relations and trade between Japan and other countries were severely limited and nearly all foreign nationals were banned from entering. Japan also had an unvented effect that didn't allow new technologies and social advancements made by the rest of the world to enter Japan level. So what was Japan to do about it? Well, Japan was going to industrialize at a breakneck pace and all costs. So this guy named Emperor Meiji announced in his 1868 charter oath to the Japanese people that knowledge shall be sought all over the world, and thereby the foundations of the imperial rule shall be strengthened. But this was a time of radical change, and Japanese people were not just industrializing, their class system was changing as well. The Tokugawa shogunate that traditionally held the most power lost it to the emerging Meiji oligarchy. After coming to power, oligarchs also endeavored to abolish the four divisions of society that was the traditional Japanese caste system. Did they do it because of their moral beliefs or just practical reasons? We can only guess. As you can imagine, the samurai were not too happy with this whole situation because they were losing all their power and influence, and the traditional role as the only populace of Japan that was allowed to bear arms was changed, and every male in the nation had the right to serve the Japanese military. Some samurai rebelled against these changes, but they were quickly subdued by the newly formed Imperial Japanese army trained in Western tactics and weapons. If you are interested in this event in particular, you can watch the Hollywood film Last Samurai. But it wasn't all so bad for samurai because they were the only educated class of people in Japan. They were first in line for the newly created jobs as government clerks, teachers, gunmakers, and military officers. The Meiji Restoration accelerated the industrialization process in Japan, which led to its rise as a military power by the year 1895, under the slogan of "Enrich the country, strengthen the military." During the Meiji period, powers such as Europe and the United States helped transform Japan and made them realize a change needed to take place. Some leaders went out to foreign lands and used the knowledge and government writings to help shape and form a more influential government within their walls that allowed for things such as production. Despite the help Japan received from other powers, one of the key factors in Japan's industrializing success was its relative lack of resources, which made it unattractive to Western imperialism. The rapid industrialization and modernization of Japan both allowed and required a massive increase in production and infrastructure. Japan built industries such as shipyards, iron smelters, and spinning mills, which were then sold to well-connected entrepreneurs. Consequently, domestic companies became consumers of Western technology and applied it to produce items that would be sold cheaply in the international market. With this, industrial zones grew enormously, and there was a massive migration to industrializing centers from the countryside. Industrialization additionally went hand in hand with the development of a national railway system and modern communications. This rapid industrialization helped Japan massively increase its military power, and that newly acquired power was put to the test in the Sino-Japanese War and Russo-Japanese War, in which Japan had stunning success against the great powers of China and Russia. After the Meiji Restoration and Japan's newly founded military might, Japan could finally see itself as equal to the great powers of the world.